With commentary along the
First
way.
of its kind.
It's so daring. Such a daring piece of content. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the lounge.
Let's go.
That's not quite a loser's lounge. That's not quite.
Yes.
Man, in all sincerity, man, kind of a fun loss tonight.
That was a fun one.
If you're going to lose and you're not going to bring your starting lineup, you might as well have fun doing it. You know what? I had fun tonight. I didn't think it would be, but it was. Nuggets fall to the Phoenix. The Nuggets, in parentheses, fall to the Phoenix Suns 100-93. They almost got a munder. They mundered themselves, but they almost got a munder on the Phoenix Suns.
Crazy.
We get a good look. What this game really was an exhibition of sorts where we got a look at a lot of the young players we hadn't really seen a whole lot of, and that provided us a lot to talk about. First of all, we're presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Man, you know it was fun tonight, you guys. Dev juking me out of a bet, and then actually it was the perfect bet.
I mean, even when I'm wrong, I'm right. That's just kind of usually how this goes. That's not
what happened. Hold on, that doesn't apply here.
I hit every bet if you look at it that way.
What's funny is the line. Okay, all right. Well, there you go. What's funny is the line tonight for Reggie Jackson points was 12.5. He got 13 in the first half. He finished 13. It was actually a very, very good.
My bet
line.
hit in the first quarter.
What was that one?
DeAndre Jordan over 5.5 rebounds.
That was such a lot.
First quarter
really,
hit.
this was a good one for bets.
Yeah, it really was.
That's how you do it.
Nuggets
on a bad
even
game.
covered, but I don't think any of us had that.
Nobody had that one. Guys, I got a whole squad with me tonight, minus Eric. He was ducking the show, man. Eric was ducking it for sure.
Dude, the basketball gods were watching him duck the show. They were watching.
They are watching. You know who's not watching him? Over here, I got Brennan Vogt.
And how about Caitlin Clark, too?
Man.
Come on.
You know what's funny, man?
That was going to be my big takeaway.
I was
tonight,
watching that
actually.
as
Me
much.
too.
Honestly, and Rockies moved to 2-0, number one in all of MLB. Tonight was fun at the bar.
Great
in fact,
bar
just
night.
as I was walking up
Great
to do the
bar
show,
night.
like one of the homies, he's been around a little bit. That's why he came up to dap me, just being like, bro, you guys have the best freaking bar. This is the best place to be. And it's like, hey, man, if you enjoyed this, the bar,
I know,
just
man.
wait till the Nuggets play.
It got kind of fun, man.
It did get kind of fun tonight here at the bar. I got Harrison Wynn with me.
I was going to say, Rockies 2-0. Best team in the MLB, man.
Rockies
Kind of exciting, too. It's like baseball's fun when we're good. And then over there, I got Superstar Dev.
Man, that was super fun. Denver played without any of their players. Suns played without any other players on the second night of a back-to-back. It was close. Close.
It was close, man. I don't even have a fast breakdown. I don't think it's worth it. I'll give you the very abridged version.
Yeah.
No starters tonight other than Aaron Gordon, which we wondered why he was going to play, but he was very aggressive tonight. The Suns built an enormous lead. Kevin Durant didn't miss. Scored a lot of points without missing any shots.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good. Suns built a 27-point lead, and you were like, all right, this is dumb, whatever. Second half, though, Bruce Brown, Aaron Gordon, they just were like, no, we're not going to lay down. We flew out here. Might as well play. We might as well play hard. And they battled. Suns 1,000% took their foot off the gas pedal in this game. They took their eye off the ball. But Denver...
I can't blame them, to be honest.
I can't either. Like, honestly, this happened to the Nuggets earlier this week.
Yeah, we've seen it.
We've seen it. But you still have to step up and swing. And, like, the guys that swung tonight, Bruce Brown, Christian Brown, Aaron Gordon, Peyton Watson, those guys, they, like, didn't quit. They're like, hey, we're down 27. Who cares? We're not letting you off the hook. We're going to keep punching. And they punched themselves all the way back to within 4 in the final minutes. But it wasn't to be. They still came up just a little bit short. So, fun one, though. Lots to discuss, actually, weirdly. At halftime, I was like, man, this show's going to suck. They're hating nothing. I feel like we have some stuff. But, Dev, start us off. What's a big takeaway?
Big takeaway was it was a competitive game. This started out really slow. Denver went down by 27 points. And it had no quit in them. They decided to fight in that third quarter, get back in the game, and make it tough on the Suns. I love the fact that they made it a point to make Kevin Durant get back on the court. For them to have to play Devin Booker for all of those minutes.
He wanted those calls, too, down the stretch.
That's the competition that you want, especially from a young team that's trying to prove themselves without any of their guys. So, valiant effort.
Yeah. No, I was like tweeting it. This could have been maybe the most improbable upset in NBA history. Like, if you actually think about it.
I think that's a little hyperbole.
I don't know, man.
Like, it was only, what was the line? 11?
Yeah, but they was
like
down
13
27
and a half.
too.
But if you just think about it, the full strength Suns against the one starter Nuggets on the second out of a back-to-back, whatever.
It was still, I mean, either way, it would have been
ridiculous.
Awesome.
Yeah. My big takeaway has to do with Peyton Watson. I loved watching Peyton Watson tonight, man. Really the first time we've seen him play real rotation minutes all season.
That's exactly it.
And I got to say, I was pretty impressed. I was pretty impressed with what I saw. He went toe-to-toe with Kevin Durant for a lot of tonight. Katie had a good night, but I thought Peyton Watson competed defensively. He just had some really great moments defensively, great individual moments. He got 2 blocks. He was the only Nuggets player with a positive plus-minus tonight, +5. Played 27 minutes, and just the fact that he got to close out a competitive game against a team like the Suns late in the fourth quarter. He played like the entire game down the stretch. Just that experience is invaluable.
Yep.
And it's unfortunate that the first time he's getting it is like the 6th to last game of his rookie season. But like this stuff is meaningful for guys like Peyton Watson.
Taste it right before the offseason, too. You know,
Yeah.
might be a nice little carrot at the end of the stick, if you will. My favorite Peyton Watson moment was him shooting that 3 that he missed that would have cut it to 1. I just love that he took that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Why not? He had earned it. And
I kind of almost feel like they would have won if they hit that one.
Me too.
Because I think they were down
Me too.
4. That's a 3. It cuts it to 1,
Yeah.
but it would have been such an absurd 3. Like Peyton Watson hits a 3 to.
I know.
I don't know. It was fun.
it was really cool to see him out there and competing. My big takeaway, fellas, we opened the pregame show wondering why Aaron Gordon is playing this
Great
game. Big takeaway. Might have been good that Aaron Gordon played this game. Might have been good for him. Obviously, his ideal role looks a little different than that. But a lot of talk about him post-All-Star break on both sides of the ball. How fresh is he? What does he have in the tank? He wanted to play this game, and I think all things considered, as a first option on a team with not a lot of options, he played pretty well. The free throws are a problem. But he did pretty well tonight, man, and I wonder if it'll be a much-needed boost of confidence going forward, and if we laughed at me in the pregame show, but if that's why he played this game in the first place.
It honestly might be because he was so aggressive. He was so had a purpose in this game. He took some shots I didn't love. He did some things that were like, hey, forcing the action or whatever. But you know what? I don't feel he has been aggressive over the last several weeks. Really, since the All-Star break.
Yeah.
I think he has not been aggressive. Is that because of the cracked rib? Is that because of the shoulder? Is that because something else? I don't know. But I'm with you. I would not be surprised if AG, after the game, we'll see if the quotes come out. I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, yeah, I just wanted to come out and be aggressive. Those guys weren't going to be here. I knew I would be a first option. He takes 23 shots tonight, which is an enormous amount. Yeah. And I just wouldn't be surprised if that was intentional. And to be honest with you, he stepped up. He had some really nice plays tonight. So good. He was our DraftKings Sportsbook king of the game. King of the game. Look at that. 26, 9, 6 assists.
2 steals and a block.
That's everything,
2 threes.
man. And honestly, he played 36 minutes tonight, which is crazy. Malone's a madman. What's Malone do? Even when we're in a game like this, he's going to run his players into the ground. But only a -3 in his 36 minutes. You're talking about him and the bench, basically, going up against KD, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. That's pretty hell of a good thing to only be a -3.
Yeah, I don't think that, me personally, I don't think that Aaron Gordon played good in this game, but there was a lot of positive things that you could take from the game. He's missing a lot of free throws. That bothers me. Also, just kind of out there, just forcing the issue. But I think that was the point, and I think that was the positive in the game. They wanted to get him back into a rhythm, get back to aggressive, get back to being a confident player, and you got to see those flashes with dunks. You got to see that with guys just giving them the ball and letting them force feed and trying to create for himself. And that's how you get yourself out of a funk. That's how you get yourself out of, just not being able to score when you want to, and just try to get that back. Last night he played. He could have easily just said, I'm not going to play in this game, but he made it a point to play, which one tells us he's not injured, and 2, it just says, hey, I made that decision, and I'm going to play to get myself back right. So positive signs moving forward for Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, this was huge, man. I really do hope that it can be a springboard for him. And to be honest with you, he looked healthier than he has. I mean, we keep asking, is he healthy? Is he this or that? I honestly don't know if it's any one thing. I think it's probably a handful of things. But tonight, he was a bowling ball again. He wasn't afraid of banging into guys.
Using his body,
Using his body. And I just feel like that's such a big part of his game specifically.
I am nervous about the free throw shooting, though. 4 of 10 tonight. He's at 62% on the season. That's a career low. It's the worst he's ever shot it from the line. And he shot 74% from the line last year. So that's a concern for sure heading to the playoffs.
I think the Nuggets, my big takeaway would be, I think the Nuggets got a little bit of fight tonight from him. Like, Denver wins oftentimes by being technically better than everyone. I mean, like, they out-execute, or they just serve their offense hums. We're always like, where's the defense? Why aren't they playing with intensity? Why isn't Yoke being aggressive? And then they just, like, out-execute and end up winning anyway. There hasn't been a lot of games recently. Denver has it in them. They have had some. But there haven't been a lot where they were just like, you know what? We're just going to punch the whole game. We're just going to punch. That's playoff basketball, punching. And tonight, we saw that from a lot of the key just role players that you need to be punchers. There was a lot of guys tonight. Even Zeke Naji, I thought, was a bowling ball tonight, running around and just mixing it up.
I liked his minutes.
You know, obviously, Christian Braun is always playing that way. And even, like, I got to give a shout-out to DeAndre Jordan tonight. He did a good job in his minutes. 5 points, 12 rebounds, 3 steals, and a block, which is kind of crazy. He plays 21 minutes. But, again, just like an aggressive player and just, like, went out there and stepped up and did his job. No minutes for Thomas Bryant, by the way.
Interesting.
Of all the guys that could play, the only guys that didn't play tonight, Jack
thinking?
White, Jeff Green, which Jeff Green, you were reported in the pregame show.
Yeah.
That was like
Last night, Jeff Green in the locker room was saying how he's flying to Phoenix but not playing. It was predetermined.
Hey, man.
Yeah. But no, to your point about guys fighting, Bruce Brown tonight, like Bruce Brown's a fighter.
Top fighter, actually.
Yeah. Like,
sometimes a little too much of a fighter.
Yeah, maybe a little too much. But on a night like tonight, with who Denver has available, you need Bruce Brown and you need his motor just never stopping. And like it never does. And tonight was the kind of night where that stuff is so valuable. Like Bruce Brown just punches and punches and punches. Yeah. Goes 100 miles per hour all the time.
There was a couple plays, like, look, the Nuggets shouldn't have won this game. They shouldn't have been in it. The fact that they were in it is impressive. But if we were to, like, nitpick and look at the 2 or 3 plays that didn't go Denver's way down the stretch, the one that sticks out the most is Bruce Brown's one-on-one against Kevin Durant on a fast break. Where, like, you saw it the whole time, like, yo, it's Kevin Durant. He's 7 feet tall. He's going to block you. He's too long. And he tried him, and it was a block, and it was a turnover in a pivotal moment. But that's what I mean by is he sometimes too turned up is in his mind, he's like a chihuahua. You know, he's...
He really
small
is.
dog, you know?
Yeah, do
you see what I'm saying?
Small dog.
But you know how, like, chihuahuas always, like, pick fights with bigger dogs?
Sure,
They're just like, what do you want, man? I'll take you right now. Get over you, Rottweiler.
It's that same, because when he's playing well at the rim, it's because there's no hesitation. Like, he's going at you and through you. And if you hesitate, he's getting to the rim first.
Right.
But it's that same determination that can get him in trouble at times as well.
Another example of the motor maybe running too much, the technical foul.
What a moment to get a technical foul.
I know, man.
He was shocked that he got it on top of that.
I mean, he made so many great plays in that same stretch or whatever, but
Sure.
there were a couple that were like, all right,
Come on, man.
But tried KD.
You take the good with the bad with him. Like, he has that motor, he has that energy, but also on the second night of a back-to-back, he plays 37 minutes and goes out there and leads by example by leaving it all out there. He's playing hard on both ends of the floor, making it very tough, even though guys are, scoring. Your young team or the team that doesn't play a lot, they're rallying. They're trying to compete. They're trying to fight because there's guys out there that are giving their all. So Bruce Brown is going to bring that every single time. He does have that dog in him. He is competitive. And made it competitive for everyone else.
Yeah,
he got that dog in him tonight from the Nuggets.
Yeah.
A lot of Nuggets showed up with the dog.
Lots of dogs.
You know who doesn't have that dog in him tonight? D-line.
Roast him. Didn't show. DNP'd. Rest. Let's take a break. On the other side, I want to get to Peyton Watson, and I want to spend a little bit of time with him. This really is, you said it, Wind. This was we've seen him in Summer League. We've seen him in like the G League highlights or whatever. This is the first time I feel like I watched him play for real, and I liked what I saw a lot. Let's get to that on the other
nice
side.
Tease.
Guys, do you want to watch the Nuggets on your TV? Like, would that be a cool thing?
That'd be really cool.
Fubo TV lets you do that.
Look at that.
www.fubotv.com/DNVR. 140 live channels of sports shows, movies, and news. You can watch the Nuggets and Altitude Sports with Fubo TV. You got to use the link in our description, though.
Yeah, it helps us out.
It's right under us, right in the YouTube description. If you're listening to this as a podcast, it's there as well. You can watch the Nuggets, the Avs, Altitude Sports, 140 live channels. No contracts, No cable, no hassle. Just sign up with our link and start watching. When you use that link, you get 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro. So you can get the Pro version and get 15% off your first month.
D-Line said it best. Fubo is like the package for sports fans. It's got like a bunch of sports channels on it. So it's really cool like that. I have it, guys. I have Fubo, and it's great. Honestly, like my wife now gets to watch all the Nuggets and Avs.
Oh, I'm sure she loves that. Yeah.
She does, my wife does, man. She's a big Nuggets fan.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Anyway, I highly recommend it. And here's the other thing, guys. F Comcast, man. Honestly, it's been 3 years of this. I know a lot of people are used to Cronkies, this, that. Who cares? Comcast is definitely also bad in this.
Yeah.
Let's run them out of town.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Shady Rays. Go to shadyrays.com, use the code DNVR, get 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. They're rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. This is a deal exclusively for DNVR listeners. Shadyrays.com, use the code DNVR, 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Shady Rays is an awesome company. If you don't love your Shady Rays, you can exchange them for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. No questions asked. Just give them right back if you don't like them. Shadyrays.com, use the code DNVR.
Aviators and navigators. That's what I got. One of each.
Damn, you're set up.
Dude, I look so smooth.
You're set up for the summer.
So smooth. Peyton Watson tonight got 27 minutes, guys. The stat line doesn't tell the story, although kind of. He was a +5 tonight, the only player who was a plus, which is really cool for 27 minutes. But he had 5 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 block shots, just 1 turnover. He goes 2 of 6 from the field and 1 of 2 from 3. The 2 blocks were big. I put it on the timeline, but one of the things that stood out when you start scouting Peyton Watson, you draft him. I didn't really ever scout the guy before that, but you get him. The thing that stood out to me was he gets a lot of steals, blocks, and deflections at weird angles. He has deceptively long arms, and I think that's part of it is he blocks guys, but he just does a lot of he stole the inbound in college, I remember 20 times. When you're just shadowing the inbound, nobody ever steals it when they're doing that. He steals it all the time. And tonight, his blocks, he had the first block he had, I don't think he jumped. He just kind of gets his hand up and I that was one of the things. There's a lot that stood out to me, but his ability to just get his hand on the ball and disrupt things was really impressive.
Yeah. He's just the type of guy you need if you're going to be a real NBA defense and a real playoff defense in this era. He reminds me of Jaden McDaniels a lot of Minnesota. Long-armed, just a weird kind of athlete who gets deflections, gets his hands on loose balls, has those weird blocks like you were talking about. He's a couple inches shorter than McDaniels, but they have the same wingspan. I just love his potential, man. I love what he could be for this team down the line. He flashed tonight. And there's a cool backstory tonight, too, because him and Kevin Durant are really good friends.
Right.
And they've got a relationship that goes back ever since Peyton Watson got drafted. Him and Kevin Durant have been talking. Kevin Durant gives him advice on just NBA life. And for him to go against KD and guard him for a lot of the game and his first NBA action was really cool. But I was impressed, too, man. 6'7", 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan. Really good defensive instincts. He's just the type of guy you need in this era of basketball. And that's a big reason why Calvin Booth got him. I got to think Calvin Booth is smiling right now because Peyton Watson is his guy.
You're right.
So is Christian Braun, but Peyton Watson is his project, his guy. So I got to think he's pretty thrilled with tonight.
I know there was a lot of people that was watching that who the hell is this guy? Because he's out there making good plays. He's rebounding and playing hard. Also, he's an interchangeable defender. He stepped out on guards. He's up there trying to make it tough on Kevin Durant. That's a tough ask to switch from Devin Booker onto Kevin Durant. Mm-hmm. And he made it a little bit tough. That's all you could do with these type of guys. They're such elite scorers. But Peyton Watson got to learn on the fly. That was, Harrison said it was invaluable minutes that you give for a rookie. That's just learning and has his eyes open, but he's learning on the fly and doing what he has to do. So great energy from him, competitive, and it's a very bright future for him. Loved what I've seen.
So here's the thing about Peyton that I'm curious about. Defensively, I see it. I wish he was more athletic, and I want to see what he looks like when he fills out. Because right now he very much looks like a young player. He looks like an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, whatever he is, 20-year-old. He just looks little. I have a feeling this summer the Nuggets are going to be like, hey, man, we got to turn your body and really expand it, because he moves very fluidly, to your point. He does all that, but he doesn't explode. And that's what I think he's going to need to be an elite athlete. You think about the Herb Joneses of the world, the guys that like they have an explosiveness to them where they can close a lot of space and this or that. I think he has good footwork, good instincts, good reaction speed, all of that stuff, but I just don't see the explosion quite yet.
I see it with him in person more than I do on screen, which makes me wonder if it's kind of an optical thing, because he's kind of a funky runner.
Right.
He just in the gym, like after practice, has thrown down some of the most violent dunks I've seen in person. Yes, dude. So I'm curious about the long-term trajectory of that explosiveness, because I think it's maybe there more than you think, and it's sneaky bits.
But he doesn't have any definition, so if he's doing that with this body,
right?
I mean, I honestly think what is he going to look like athlete-wise? So compare him what he projects to look like physically. Because I don't think he's going to be Kevin Durant. You know, Kevin Durant's so skinny that he's put on muscles, but it doesn't show. Yeah. I think he's
when
more,
he like rips up.
Yeah, I'm saying, will he look like a Paul George? Do you think he's going to fill out like that, or do you think he'll fill out?
Yeah, I could see that.
I could too. That's what I mean. I don't know if he'll be quite as big. Paul George a little bit wider, just musclier. But I don't think he's going to be like wiry.
Right, I agree. Yeah,
that's why I think he's going to add a lot of weight to him.
Yeah, I mean, getting stronger would be awesome. I think my point being, I'm interested in the upward long-term trajectory there, because I think he's a bit more of an athlete than we've seen. But it was fun to watch him play tonight, man.
So here's one of my big note about the game, and it's really a note we've had, but this is since we watched Peyton Watson for the first time. I know from talking to Cal what his philosophy is. This might be the best chance the Nuggets have, just because you never know what the future holds and the health and this or that. But I feel confident that every team they put around Jokic until he retires is going to have certain traits and characteristics that will be similar to this. Will some be slightly better, some slightly worse? Probably, But I think that Peyton Watson and Christian Braun and KCP and Bruce Brown, those guys are very deliberate choices to bring in here. And it's a pipeline. Guys that are good now, maybe Bruce leaves, but you had him now. You have KCP, who's kind of at his peak right now, Christian Braun on the upswing, and then Peyton Watson behind him. And they're going to add another one or two. Denver doesn't have a lot of wings. They have Michael Porter Jr. That's basically it. Then Christian Braun is kind of a wing as well.
I think they think Christian Braun's a 2.
I think they do as well, but I'm saying on this roster right now, he's kind of a 3 just because the Nuggets need a 3.
Yeah.
And Peyton Watson's a 3. And I just think they're going to keep adding this mold of player, and you see why. There are teams that are all 3s.
And a reason they took Peyton Watson and committed to this development curve with him is because it's tough for the Nuggets to get those types of guys. Like, we've been lauding over Jaden McDaniels in Minnesota all season. Like, oh my God, he'd be the perfect piece for Denver. Nuggets can't get guys like that. Like where they're at with the draft picks they're going to have and with the players they have available to trade. It's going to be almost impossible for them to swing a deal for a guy like Jaden McDaniels. So their best chance to get a guy like that was to take a chance on Peyton Watson through the draft.
Right.
And maybe in a year or two, he can be Jaden McDaniels. That was a lot of the thinking, I believe, with Peyton Watson. And I mean, now I think the hope is with him, he can be like your 9th man next year. I think that would be like best case scenario, brightest timeline if he is, one of the last guys in your rotation next season off the bench.
So Jaden McDaniels, 6'9", 7-foot wingspan. Peyton Watson, 6'8", 7.5-inch wingspan. So they're almost identical builds.
Yeah.
And I saw it in the chat while you were talking here. The body I think he can become is Jeremy Grant's. Like, I don't know that Paul George is bigger. Like, he's just a little bit stronger of a guy. But I think Jeremy Grant is an example of a guy who is naturally skinny and lanky, but has filled out to where you're not like, oh my God, Jeremy Grant's too little for this matchup. He's got the length and strength.
Yeah.
What about offensively, Dev? So defensively, I look at it and I go, I can see it. We'll see if he gets there, but I can see the makings of a player. I don't know what he is on offense, though.
I don't think he knows what he is on offense, but he's learning and he's trying. He wants to make things happen. So we got to see the 3-ball. We got to see him get out in the open floor, and they threw oops to him. That was an athletic finish that he had on the oop.
Right. Yeah.
And I think it's just going to come, especially with how fast the league is, and as fluid as he is as a runner, he still has a long way to go. So I do think that it is a work in progress, but he does show those flashes, and it's just going to take a little time.
Do you have a read on offense, either of you guys?
It's funny because going back to the Kevin Durant angle that I was talking about, he's actually gotten comped to Kevin Durant a lot in terms of if you actually watch his mid-range jumper, it looks like Kevin Durant, like his dribble pull-up. I think in his mind,
Just like him.
Say LeBron or Michael Jordan next.
No, I'm serious. Like, watch Peyton Watson do a pull-up jumper. It looks like Kevin Durant, like that weird kind of form. I think in Peyton Watson's mind, he wants to be like a 3-level scorer, all-around offensive player.
Right.
If you watch him in the G League, he really does it all. Like, he tries to play like Kevin Durant. I think ideally with the Nuggets, he's going to shift way more towards the 3-and-D archetype. But like Dev said, I think it's too early to tell exactly what it's going to be. He could really grow in any direction.
I think that's true. I would say my guess right now, he's still so young and has barely played. My guess right now would be he might get the most out of himself at the NBA becoming a specialist, so or having a defined role on offense, however you put it semantically, more so than exploring his game until he's if he tries to become an all-star, maybe he falls short. But if there's a sort of higher floor, lower ceiling thing he's shooting for, he could do that. I think he can shoot a little bit. We'll see. He's just athletic enough that there's something there. I'd be surprised if he was a star, but I think he can sort of fit into a role here at the next level.
Yeah. To me, the 3-level scorer thing, maybe. I do think that the best path for him is to work on a handful of places. Think about where Michael Porter's game is. He doesn't do that many things.
Exactly, yeah.
He actually only has a handful of things, and there's more, and he has more to his game to offer. With Peyton Watson, I think he needs to learn straight line drives to the basket, needs to become an athletic finisher / cutter. I think he has some good passing to him. He actually had a nice pass to the corner.
Yeah.
I don't even remember if it was an assist or not tonight, but he had a nice pass, and I think he has some passing in him. But to me, I would just try to learn 3 or 4 things. Am I going to get the ball on a handoff and I have one dribble to the rim and I'm going to try to do this? Am I going to work on a 1 dribble spin move and get to the cup? But I wouldn't be working if I were him on a bunch of 4 dribble pull up middies right now, because he's not good enough at those, and it's going to be a long time before Denver needs him taking those types of shots.
Yeah, absolutely. And also in the G League, he had the ball in his hands a ton.
Yeah.
He's the guy in Grand Rapids. He's the star of that team.
But I think that's bad for him.
I don't. I think that it's actually good for him because that second unit needs a playmaker, and he looks like he wants to fit into that role. And it's going to be needed for them to have a guy that have the ball in their hands that could be a good passer, that can be the defender as well. I think that it makes sense because he's never going to be a starter, or I just don't think so. I think that he's fit for that role. And that goes back to Vogt saying that he should be a specialist. If he's able to be a specialist, especially defensively, but also be able to create off the dribble, it makes him a tougher player. It makes him have to stay on the floor, and it creates. It answers a need that Denver, needs answered.
But I think it's really interesting the balance that a prospect goes through here, especially in this Denver situation. Right, there's a la Grant to Detroit. Right, is there some path of a guy like Watson exploring his game and becoming the most well-rounded offensive player he can, but is that almost a lesser version of what his career could be, right? Whereas there's all these...
Oh, he explored his game in the G League this season. He did a lot of exploring.
So behind the scenes on the G League, though, I think the G League peaked 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I think the G League has kind of fallen apart. It's
kind of a joke.
It's kind of an underreported thing that I think had a moment in time where it was hey, we can really turn this into a great developmental pipeline for teams. And I think teams are more reluctant to use it, in large part because it is a bit of I don't want to say a joke, but it is every NBA player that goes down there scores 30.
I know.
And the competition isn't that great, and the numbers are inflated, and I think it's too inconsistent about
some
who's
of it's
there,
because the best 2 players on every G League team are now on 2-way contracts. So now a lot of those guys are just with their NBA teams.
Coming back and forth, you're saying, and stuff. Yeah. So I don't say that to disparage what he's accomplished in the G League. I just say that to say that I do think there's a cap on how good that can be for him. I think it's good for reps. It's good for different things. But I think his real development is going to come this summer when he's with the coaching staff and really trying to be molded into this type of player.
All I was saying with the fact that he has the ball in his hands a lot with Grand Rapids is just like, I think he's improved as a passer. I don't think he came into his rookie season as a good passer by any means. I still don't think he is. But
really,
I don't know. Like I've just watched him in the G League. Like he turned the ball over a lot.
Oh, okay.
But he was given the opportunity to like really experiment and explore.
Marcus Howard, when he was asked about ranking the levels, G League was harder to score at than the NBA. Do you remember him saying that? The NBA was the easiest league to score in, is what he said.
I believe it, though. It's just so much spacing.
There's no way it's easier than the G League.
It's the space.
Dude, you watch some of these G League
Especially
games.
him.
Dev, you could get 20. You could
I
get
think
20, man.
so myself.
You could get 20.
Marcus Howard's just saying that because he got to play the Blazers in the playoffs. So he just,
that was hot for
he's
him,
just
too.
like, this is easy.
That's so funny. All right, let's take a break. Any other comments on Peyton Watson before we get out of here?
It's just cool to see him.
He's got a great look to him.
Actually, we'll get to it on the other side. I have one last take about Peyton Watson, but it's really more about Michael Malone. Let's get to that on the other side.
The Game Time app. Guys, check it out. Use our link in the description. See you later, Vogt. Game Time is the hottest new ticketing site. Makes it easier than ever to score the best deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows. If you ever dreamed sitting in a seat behind home plate, courtside, 50-yard line, you can with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Use our link in the description. It's right there on the screen. Join over 15 million people who have downloaded the Game Time app. Score the best seats to all of your favorite events. Also, shout out to our friends over at Illegal Pete's. We got a location right down the street, Colfax, just a couple blocks here from the DNVR Bar in our offices. Illegal Pete's, it's great. This episode of the DNVR Nuggets podcast brought to you by Illegal Pete's. Graduation season is coming up. Let's face it, all the soon-to-be grads deserve a celebration that's as epic as they are. Illegal Pete's has great catering options if you're hosting a party or a get-together. They've got delicious ingredients, customizable options. It's the perfect way to treat your guests if you're hosting anybody. Catering.illegalpete's.com. Catering.illegalpete's.com. If you got a graduation party, if you have family in town, friends, cater it with Legal Pete's. I guarantee you nobody will complain about the food at your grad party if you cater with Illegal Pete's. So check them out.
There you go. I'm looking around at guys right now just because I'm curious. Herb Jones, 6'8", 7-foot wingspan.
It's the prototype.
It really
this
is
a big part of why they drafted him.
He really has the exact
measurables.
measurements of all these elite defensive wings. This was good to see. Here's my take. Peyton Watson's not ready, right? That's why this is sort of a gap year.
Ready.
But there's a lot of guys that aren't ready that get minutes. And there's something to, like, you kind of have to just start the clock with guys and find spots throughout the season. This has never been a Michael Malone MO, but I'm not sure it wouldn't have been smart in some of these injury-plagued stretches of the season to bring Peyton Watson up and just say, hey, you're going to play the next 2 games and we're going to play you 20 minutes. Would it really have hurt that much more than whatever it is you were getting out of the bench guys? And the team, I've brought this up before, but the team that does this the best is the Memphis Grizzlies, who they just play all of their guys. I'm always so impressed with Taylor Jenkins' willingness to open up and expand his roster. And tonight, or that was actually this afternoon, David Roddy, my God. Who was it he got? Who did he dunk on?
All on the top of them, too.
Zubats. That's what it was, right?
Zubats,
If
yeah.
it says Zubats.
Shadow Realm.
My God, he posterized that dude. Had an incredible dunk. And I brought this up before, but he was horrible his first, 20 games. Horrible. And Taylor Jenkins, I knew it and just said, no, you know what? We need this type of player in the future. We need him to go. We're just going to sit there and suffer through it. And I just don't know that Denver's record would have been worse this year if Peyton Watson had played 15 more games than he did at 10 to 15 more minutes per game. And it's just like, hey, whatever, we're giving so-and-so the night off tonight. You go out there and guard, and we just want to get you reps. And I just think those things help for development.
For sure.
I mean, I agree and disagree with that. I mean, you said with Memphis, but I just feel like Denver is just like, they feel like they can win a championship right now. So I don't think that they're thinking about the future or what Peyton Watson brings them. Also, they have guys on their roster that they just brought in that are not playing. You know, Reggie is not playing.
Right.
Thomas Bryant is not playing.
Right.
They have a lot of people on their roster right now that they have to figure out before they could move a guy up. Also, this is
I would agree, though, Dev, if they had wings, but they don't have wings.
For sure. And I think this is the first time that they also have a G League team. They want to use that. They want to, utilize having that option and trying to give guys reps because they haven't been able to do it in the past. So I just think that it was a new attempt for them to just try to find some minutes somewhere.
But we had games where there were like no point guards. You remember when all the point guards were out for like 2 weeks and Denver was forced to play? I'm just saying those are the moments where you look at it and say, we don't have any forwards. We don't have any small forwards. We're calling you up. We're just going to give a run here where we play some of these young guys, and I just don't think it would have been that bad. And again, you're right that Denver has championship aspirations. I'm not saying he should be in the rotation all the time, but there's these little pockets throughout the year where you just go, you know what? Let's get this guy. Let's see what we have.
No, it's you look at the schedule and you go, okay, these 10 games, we're going to give him a shot.
Right.
And we're going to rest Jeff Green for these 10 games. We're going to give Peyton Watson a shot. This is a little different, but this has been my thing with Christian Braun all year. It's great that he's in the rotation firmly now. It's great that he's going to be playing playoff minutes, second guy off the bench. But imagine how much better Christian Braun would be right now if he had played the whole year.
I think
it's similar, but different.
I think a lot of Malone's approach to this season it was very much a this is the year kind of thing. I don't think it was really.
I just think you can do both, though. I don't think it's taken away. Here's the thing. They played 3-guard lineups all year. That was unnatural.
I'm saying in his perspective, what is the best path to wins in the moment that we're in front of him? I'm not saying I disagree with your larger point that it might have been beneficial to do this. You could have done both. I'm just saying that's not how he saw it. I think from the jump, he just wanted to play vets, play Jamal 35 to 40 minutes.
I agree, Vogt.
Stagger the starters and just limit this to what he trusts and he knows.
We'll going forward. I mean, we'll just see how you handle it. Denver getting wings is going to be the hardest part of roster construction going forward. I think that Calvin Booth is very aware of that. And I think that his draft and everything shows that. But
I agree with
next year, who's Denver's backup small forward? And we say Michael Porter comes back. It's probably either somebody they add, but it's so hard to add a wing. Wings are the piece that everybody wants. So Denver's not going to get a good one. They're going to get the one they can afford on an MLE and whatever. So you have to look around and go, we'll never have wings. We need to develop a few. And I just think it's good to find little minutes. Peyton Watson, though, I will say coming into tonight, I didn't have any takes on him. I still don't really. But I'm a little excited. I'm excited to see what happens this summer.
Yeah.
I'm excited because he'll be the star of Summer League, and I'm kind of I know that's weird to say, but he's going to have a real opportunity to work on his body between now and Summer League, and I'm
Summer League. You know what we were saying about the G League before? Summer League might be worse.
Oh no, I love it, and they get all their guys. Christian Brown's going to be able to play.
You think he'll play?
Christian Brown is not.
I think so.
He's too good, man.
He's also going to be able.
Gillespie
to
will be there. Oh no, here we
baby.
go.
Great.
Who else will be there? Is Jack White going to go play?
Kamagate.
Man. Hey man, we got a
Expectations are high.
Expectations
We're already
are high.
every year we go, this could be the most fun
Summer League.
Nuggets
Oh, yeah.
Summer League
And
too.
then one game in, we're like,
Super
God,
Team
this
X Summer League.
sucks.
This is terrible basketball. Holy shit.
Would they send Colin again?
I do want to talk, though, about Christian Braun again tonight, and I'll let you take this one here. Christian Braun played some great defense. Christian Braun had great defense on KD. Now, you look at the box score and say, good defense. KD missed 4 shots all night.
That's also true, yeah.
That is true. You know what else happened? Kevin Durant was a -1 tonight.
Christian Braun had a couple possessions where it was the best defense you could ever play on Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
He just scored it right over him.
Yeah.
It's
And
just too good.
But Christian Braun played really well. I will say, I'll do it for you.
No, I can do it.
'Kay.
I can do it if you want.
Do you know the exact numbers?
The minutes that he played? Or
No,
what?
when he came out?
Oh, no. Can you set the table
I'll just
with
set
that?
the table and say that he was playing really good. Denver
Yeah.
was making this crazy run, and they were doing it with defense. Bruce Brown, Aaron Gordon, Peyton Watson, Christian Braun. That's a hell of a defensive foursome.
Great.
They were doing it. It got to 92 to 85. It's about 4.5, I think right under 5 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Malone made a substitution.
Wynn noticed it right away.
I did notice it right away.
I think that's what it was. It might have been Wilson.
Christian Braun checked out of the game, and I couldn't believe it.
You could have not.
I could not believe it.
You were aghast. Is it?
I mean, look, I'm cool with having Peyton Watson out there. Like, give him the chance to close the game. It was great experience. He was playing really well.
It was 7 minutes. My God, 7 minutes.
This will do a lot for Peyton Watson's confidence. I'm not upset about having him out there. But you did not need Reggie Jackson out there to close this game.
No, you need a point guard.
You had Bruce Brown.
No, but you need a true point guard.
Which one of those is the true point
I see
guard?
what you're doing
No,
there.
no, you need somebody that's going to distribute the ball and get it where it's supposed to go.
I'm
though.
just getting the bit.
No, guys.
Reggie Jackson.
Man. Wait, you need a veteran. You need a veteran out there.
Reggie Jackson once again sucked tonight. He was god awful. But sure enough, the Nuggets needed a point guard, so he was out there instead of Christian Brown to close this game.
He was not god awful. He was good in the first.
He was
half.
good in the first
In the
half.
first
man. I
half.
know because
In
I
the
was
first
counting
half.
them points.
Yeah.
He
He
shot
was good
1
in
and
the
9 from
first half.
3, guys.
Adam
He
was
was-
counting his money.
Yeah, that
bro.
all came in the second half.
He had
Wait.
3 turnovers, 4 assists.
Wait,
Oh, the turnovers
Actually,
were
you want to know something funny?
atrocious.
Where did he play his minutes? First half and the first stint of the third quarter. They were down 27. And then they came back.
Look,
What was he
I'm
doing? He
not
wasn't
saying
that
the Nuggets
bad.
would have won with Christian
He was
Brown.
only a -2. You know what?
It
I
was
take it
just
back.
like, come on, man. Come on.
I know. It was a perfect moment to be like, you know what? Ride out your defensive young guy. There's
Yeah.
nothing to lose. Let's see what happens. And
Hang on. Multiple point guards.
Oh,
Multiple point guards.
Ish had some nice stuff tonight. He's so quick. He had some
I
bad
mean, he was
stuff
1
too.
of 10 from the
Was he 1 of 10?
Yeah. I think so.
he was
right?
1 of 10.
He had some. We were talking about bad shot. Who was it that just laughed, cracked?
You
up
want to
like-
know who can get a
Was it
shot
you?
off against anybody? Ish
Me.
Smith.
It was
Bro,
me. It
there was a
me.
shot he took.
No matter what defender, no matter what defense, he can get a shot off.
There was a pull up mid range from like the baseline that he took today that was like a laugh out loud horrible shot.
Yeah.
18 seconds on the clock. You're like, wait, what?
Oh, man.
Get it up, feeling it. Ish Smith, let's go.
I laugh every time he shoots, man.
I thought Christian Brown was good. Anyway, I
was
like the
great.
young pieces that Denver has.
I have another name I thought played well. Unless you want to.
No,
I
no,
think
go
you
for
touched
it.
on it a little bit. I thought Zeke Naji had some good
He did.
moments tonight.
Man, another young guy.
defensively.
Yep, there you go.
And rebounding. It's
Young core.
Oh, can we get the graphic going again?
Hold on. Nice young core, baby.
there are
Second
always going to
core.
be some loud mistakes with Zeke. Like there's some hand stuff, and he's always so close to making a great play sometimes, and then he doesn't quite finish it or whatever. But just watching Zeke minutes compared to the initial backup 5 minutes that they've tried, Jordan, Bryant, the utter clusterfucks that they've been. These Najee minutes are like, forget the box score, forget the plus minus. I can just see that this is better. It gives them an identity. They can at least try to get stops. I really like the way that Zeke has been playing. I'm glad he got a chance to re-enter the rotation before it was too late this season. I thought it might have been. I don't know what it bodes, what it says for him in the playoffs, how much he'll play, if he'll play. But it's been a nice audition down the stretch, re-audition, if you will, for the playoff rotation.
I never thought of the Nuggets as young core. We're so far removed from having a young core, but you know what? We have a young core again.
We do.
Kamagate,
Yeah.
Najee.
Yeah.
Najee's the senior of the group. Christian Brown,
P-Watt.
P-Watt, baby.
Colin Gillespie.
Colin Gillespie.
Steady Gillespie.
We're all the way there.
Yeah, we got ourselves a young core,
Young
fellas.
core, baby.
Steady Gillespie.
Sweaty Gillespie.
All right, let's take another break. On the other side, Super Chats.
The Mile High City Golden Ale from Breckenridge Brewery. Breck Brew is the official beer of DNVR. I hope you had a Mile High City Golden Ale in your hand watching this Nuggets game because it would have been a better experience. If you don't know where to get Breck Brew, check out the Breck Brew beer locator, breckbrew.com. Breck Brew is the official beer of DNVR, the Mile High City Golden Ale, the Avalanche Amber, the Vanilla Porter Jr., Funslinger. They got hard seltzers as well. Check Breck Brew out. Breck Brew is the official beer of DNVR. Also at DraftKings, we had a great night on DraftKings. Hit the DeAndre Jordan over rebounds. Dev hit every bet. Reggie Jackson over in points. DraftKings Sportsbook has the NBA No Sweat Same Game Parlay going on right now. So even if you lay down a same game parlay on a Nuggets game, if you miss it, look, no big deal. You can just get your bet back. You can try it again. Try again for a No Sweat Same Game Parlay the next game. Make sure to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Sign up with code DNVR. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA with code DNVR. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
You know what time it is?
What time is that?
Time for a DraftKings Sportsbook pick of the week.
Great call. Let's do a DraftKings Sportsbook pick of the week.
Let's do it. The best pick of the entire week.
Thanks for reminding me.
Opens it up. What do you? Can I actually give you? Can I give you the pick of the week this week?
I would.
Courtesy of Big T.
Oh,
Of
my
Big
guy,
T.
Big T.
Big T today. Happy
My
birthday,
guy.
by the way. Shouts to Big T. It's his birthday
man.
today.
You know he's doing it up tonight.
You know he's doing it up. Professional gambler, and he told
imagine.
me, you can tell. He actually said in the losers lounge tonight, and he said that before the game started. He said you can mention this to your followers.
I mean, look, the guy knows his stuff.
Free money from my DNVR crew. Talk about it in the losers lounge. UConn to win the title, minus 125. Says lock it in. Lock it in.
I want you to know.
I mean, they are the best team remaining. Pretty
I want you
clearly.
to know.
lock it in.
If you're betting with Tony, he's probably betting more than you are on this one. But just find your unit, what you're comfortable with.
Tony said to put 50,000 units on it. He said put 50,000
He just
units.
says it all calm too. Like
I know.
just 50,000.
Yeah, 50,000 on
Units.
UConn.
Units.
Not dollars. Units.
I know. Yeah.
more
Who
than
knows
that.
how big his unit is? It's probably pretty big though.
Oh no.
That's the DraftKings
They don't
Sportsbook
call
pick of
it
the
Big
week.
T for nothing.
That's wild.
No.
I should be Big Dev.
Well. All right, guys. It's late. Let's read some super chats and then go home, shall we? To all you guys super chatting tonight, hell yeah, man. You guys are real ones.
If this is
reading
the
this?
Suns' defense, I like our chances. It's not. I hate to tell
Also,
you.
Denver had 93, so I don't know.
I mean, but what do we think about the Suns?
I don't know, man.
I mean, they were both up 27
That's a
and
good point.
also
That's
won
a good
barely.
point.
So
Yeah, I take that back.
It's like when Denver plays those games.
yeah.
Actually, let's talk about that really quickly. I will say this: Kevin Durant. The thing, it's the most overrated thing in sports, but also the most properly rated thing, which is he can't be guarded. This is why people don't like Jokic as an MVP or something. They're like, he's not as good, because he doesn't hit fall away shots that you just leave and go. There's nothing you can do. KD does, man. The shots he hit tonight were like, yeah, that was smooth
Insane.
smooth as hell, man. That was smooth.
And Malone is out there. This is where he's actually coaching. He's like sending double teams. Like, how do you
Yeah.
double team a 7-footer? You
Right.
can't stop the shot.
can't.
And you know it's coming.
Right. He's got to try to make it hard on him and do some different things. But I don't know. The Suns, I think, are going to be really, really hard to score on, but I do think Denver, or to get stops against. But I do think Denver's going to score. So I don't know.
Alejandro says,
Wow.
does
He's
this-
look at how much he's super chatted.
Yeah, I don't. I'm what?
Is that
Units.
Croatian?
I wonder how many units
Two-
that
No,
is.
that's a Jimenez.
2,500?
What is CRO? Costa Rican money. Let's
nice.
go.
Does this game make the Nuggets feel better about a potential second round matchup versus the Suns? First time super chat from Costa Rica. I guess we could have.
Thank
I
you,
guess we should've
Alejandro.
just
Shout out,
read it.
man.
Hell
Could have
yeah.
read it. Probably not, but I do love the super chat and the optimism.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I'd still take the series.
I will say I'm a little less scared of the Suns after today.
I don't
Just a little
think these,
bit.
I don't think these games matter, man.
Just a tiny bit.
Like when Denver does this thing, I'm like, yeah, they didn't
Dude,
care.
there's so many games
Yeah.
over
You
the
wanna
last
know who
3
I'm
weeks where
not
people are like,
worried
I'm not
about?
afraid of Denver. I'm like, you're not afraid of Denver's like half-assed effort there.
You want to
Okay.
know who I'm not worried about is DeAndre Ayton.
I wish I could talk trash to DeAndre Ayton. Somebody needs to really take one for the team and sit right behind the bench. That's the guy you could use to
you're
break
on
up.
this,
I'm
yeah.
This is
telling you.
big take.
No, it's a real take here. Listen, his teammates hate him.
Yeah.
His teammates do not like him.
Yeah.
Somebody just needs to point that out to him and to the rest of the team on the bench that, hey, man, why do they, hey, DeAndre, why do they always blame you for everything? DeAndre, how come they didn't give you a contract until somebody else did and they matched it? Just bring it up. Like, hey, DeAndre, how come you never get credit for anything from the Suns? Just bring it up.
By the way,
It'll drive him nuts especially.
the Celtics figured out how you stop Durant. Very similar to how you stop Jokic. You just foul the shit out of him. You just hope they don't call it. So was this the favorite to win the Western Conference? I got my shady Rays. I'm not scared of no Suns. We had their starters play in the final minutes. That's a win in my book.
Dude, look
yeah,
at all the
son.
puns in there. Bring that back. Oh,
Yeah.
man,
Oh,
Kale.
man. Oh,
you
Kale.
lost it.
Regular
God
producer
damn,
Kale.
Don't
Kale.
find it. Come on, let's get
No,
regular.
he had
Kale.
so many little puns in there, man. That was punnyful.
Thomas Trip Tree, $5. Nice.
Wow.
Thomas Triptree.
One buck. Dude, he said F it. He screwed up twice and was like, yo, I just paid
Hey,
$6. I did not get this thing off.
That's my favorite super chat of the night. It's not wasted. 55555-ish. P. Watt electrifying on defense and short-circuiting the opposing offense. I really like what I saw. I can't wait to see more in the future.
Hopefully, we will see more in the future.
I like that positivity
Hopefully.
there.
Christian, hey, love you, DNVR. Love you too,
Man, love you
Christian.
too, dude.
Great effort tonight. Next year, bench CB, P. Watt, Flacco, Zeke, and a new PG.
See, that's the bench we'll be asking for all season, and we'll never get it.
It's actually, I can't wait.
That's what we do want, but it
It's gonna
won't
be like
happen.
Garrett Temple just keeps playing. We're like, God damn it, Garrett
like,
Temple.
Why is Rudy Gay getting 30 minutes?
What's Trevor Ariza up to?
It's a veteran player. I just like a veteran. Hey, you guys want to get excited here?
Maybe.
Well, I blew it already. What would you guys guess? What would you guys guess Peyton
Sick.
Watson's defensive rating was tonight? I'll give you all a guess. You go over here.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh, this is fun.
105.
98.
86.8.
Wow.
That wasn't my
Wow.
86.8 best on the team.
Nice.
Dang.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
P.
he was
Watt,
the only guy
dude.
with a plus. +5.
Nick Orton, PFW. Oh, it's Peyton Watson. Peyton effing Watson.
Peyton freaking Watson.
Great seeing him on D. Future is bright. Calvin Booth nailed this draft.
I love how
gotta
quickly
love
people can-
revisionist history, man. People killed Calvin Booth for this draft on draft night. Probably some people on this show too.
I
Go
liked
Christian Brown.
I liked the Christian
Christian
Brown pick.
Brown's wingspan, you guys.
Yeah, it was
His wingspan. Come on.
He was on my top 5 board, but Paul Severance. On a lighter note, what is your go-to karaoke song, and can we get a chorus? The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
Yeah, that is our only karaoke song.
But we'll sing it for sure.
Do you have one,
For
Dev?
sure.
Yes, Ruben stuttered. I'm sorry for 2004. So
No, it's not. No.
it is. It truly is.
That was a little too quick.
And I'm actually really good at it.
Ruben
you got
Stutter.
one?
You're opening a can of
Wow.
worms here.
Do you listen to Clay Aiken too, or just Ruben Stutter?
No. Same show, same year.
Yeah, just Ruben.
One was better.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
What just
Are you a
happened?
big American,
American
Idol fan?
Idol Dev.
No, not at all.
Dylan chiming in. What do you guys think of a Braun, Watson, Flacco, Zeke bench that runs through Flacco?
Again, love it. I just guarantee you we're not going to get it. Love it, though. Absolutely love it.
That runs through Flacco, and it's with Watson, Brown, and Zeke. Oh, for sure, you're not going to play a 5-man
Malone's
bench.
like, I love it. Where's Jeff?
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's a good point too.
What?
Grapey. P-Watt playoff minutes.
Man, let's turn it up. Who's hotter than that? Somebody give us a hotter take. Let's go.
Why not?
Should he be starting?
Here's a take I genuinely agree with. Nuggets need Caitlin Clark off the bench.
Man, she played tonight. She has some fire to her too. You know that? She
Dude,
plays with
she's
fire.
Steph Curry at Davidson.
She's a trash
Except
talker.
for no, Steph Curry is like dancing, joking,
No.
whatever. I'm saying he's not doing like a. Who do you think you are? I am. That's like her energy she had.
Did you see tonight? A South Carolina player was wide open from 3, and she just looked at.
Oh,
her
she
and
goes like this. That's what I'm saying, dude. She's not Steph Curry. She has a Steph
I
Curry
meant just
game.
like, her
yeah, but
game.
her
Davidson run though. It's a good comp. I like it.
no, but I'm saying her persona though is more of like almost a Pat Beverly.
She's
She has like
intense.
Sure,
a
sure.
she has an FU to her.
Nathan Lawn, great 18th birthday loss given the circumstances.
Whoa, youngin.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy
Next
birthday.
year question.
You
but
and Big T.
do y'all see any other Nuggets making an all-star game with a full summer of rest? That's for next year.
Here's my prediction. If the Nuggets win the championship, they'll get 3 All-Stars next year.
And if they don't,
1.
I agree. Oh, I'm excited for this one. Mark checking in. I live in Phoenix. Boo. But I hate the Suns.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. At the game, Subs versus Suns. What a great game. P-Watt balled. You guys are amazing. Let's go. All the subs are good.
the Suns are
DNVR
good. I love it.
Bar.
That's like, dude, how are our people so good, man?
Man, great chats.
They are so good.
Grapey, I'm sorry to say I hit Nuggets first half team total under 40 and a half plus 1,200 on DraftKings Sportsbook code.
crazy.
Dude, yo, that's a
40
great 40 and a half because it was 40.
That's a great
It was
That's
40.
wild.
This is why gambling is fun on dumb games like this. Because
Yeah.
how fun was he? How
They
much
have
fun
the
was he having?
first half one.
You missed out, man.
Hold on, I didn't miss out. My lock of the game was under.
Was it?
Yes.
Did I must have taken it too then. I didn't even look at my bets.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It was
Good job,
under
Dad.
Denver points. I don't know if you took that.
I think I did. I mean,
I don't
if
think-
you
I don't
said
think he-
something, I did. So.
No, that's what I'm talking
Finally, Laking Ball checking in. I love how we end the show with a message from a hater. Let's talk about Jokic ducking the new Suns and missing an opportunity to show the world that they are the favorite in the West. You know I have to add some Celtics love. Bucks are frauds. Tatum over Giannis. I honestly love that he keeps coming back. I really do.
greater than Giannis. Oh, my
Oh,
God.
man.
I with Laking Ball, I'm really curious, man. I don't know if the average just fan on the outside, like we're in the media, I don't know if he knows this. Tatum, huge Lakers fan. Keeps referencing wanting to play for the Lakers. I just want to prepare you for that. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying, do Celtics fans see that?
The energy,
His mouth is on the floor.
it might be about to shift.
I'm just saying this is going to be the weirdest storyline that I'm like almost certain happens in the next. It might not be for a handful of
Oh,
years.
he's a
Like,
Laker.
I think it'll be like 5 years, so it's not like it's imminent.
He's a
But
Laker.
at some point, he's going to join the Lakers.
Oh, there's no
It's
doubt.
going to be the weirdest,
There's
worst
no
thing
doubt.
ever,
Yeah,
man.
it's gonna be like Tatum,
Towns and Booker.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's going to be the one.
Oh
It's going to
my
be the
God.
squad.
Yeah.
It's going to be a real rough one, guys.
Joining
I'm
the
not gonna
Rockies
lie.
beat.
Joining the Rockies beat. All right, hit that outro music, Cal. Guys, this was a fun one. You know
It
what? The
was.
Nuggets fall to 51-26, but whatever. Still one in the
I
West.
forgot we lost tonight. Not gonna lie.
He's just watching Christian Brown highlights on
No,
his
I
phone.
feel like we did a losers lounge like we would have a
agree.
winners lounge.
I agree.
We'll do it real quick around the association with one team. The Grizzlies, for some reason. Oh no, they were up the whole game. They were up the whole. You made it sound like.
Well, it's a close game at half.
Well, it was a close game at half, and then they got blown out because for some reason Kawhi didn't play the second half.
Right. Yeah,
Really
they
weird
were
decision.
up 5.
Could have done us a solid. Chose not to play it in the second half. So there you go.
Yeah.
Nuggets are off, but you know what? They come back against the Warriors. A game that I expect people to play in and to probably
Sure.
play hard. So the Nuggets
Sure.
have to play eventually. I think the Warriors will be one of those teams they go hard against. Although, does Denver have? Some people have asked, like, is Denver tanking? Are they trying to dive or this? That? I don't think they are. There's no reason.
They're not. They're not trying to tank. And like, if they're trying to tank, Memphis has to go undefeated to get the 1 seed
Yeah.
from here on out.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. So, all right,
They're not.
We're gonna go home. It's midnight. You guys want to go home?
Yeah.
I would love to.
Hit that like button for us, everybody. We'll see you.